Whew, you know it's hot when the inside of your elbows, what's this called? I don't know. When the crease is a sweating. It's a hot one today. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. A few weeks back, I posted my opinions on controversial parenting topics. You guys really seem to like it, and I was asked to do a part 2, but I got a couple notes from you guys that you wanted me to be more controversial. Now, don't get me wrong, I am someone that has an extremely strong opinion. You can ask anyone that knows me. I can be a little hard-headed. I know how I feel about certain things. But what I've found is when it comes to motherhood or parenthood things, I tend to offer a lot more grace because that's what I want to receive from other people. And so I really try not to judge. If you guys haven't seen my part 1 already, go check it out. I did a little disclaimer about my opinions. For my opinions, please respect them, and I respect your opinions even if they're different than mine, blah blah blah. So just make sure you keep that in mind. This video is for fun. I love to hear what you guys think, so make sure you comment down below if you have any differing opinions than mine. So I guess let's just get right into it. Okay, the first one is about homeschooling versus, I guess, public school. I went to public school and I have never, ever once had any interest in homeschooling my kids. I think that takes a special kind of person to be able to do that. I think as parents, we need breaks from our kids. We want them to get out and socialize, especially Jace being an only child. I need him to be like away from me and making friends and learning new things outside of our home. But as you all know, we are dealing with a pandemic, COVID. The coronavirus has had a lot of our schools shut down. So Jace, I think, had about 3 months left when his preschool shut down. And what they ended up doing was they were sending work home for the kids. The work was just kind of random crafts, and he was in a specialized preschool for speech therapy, so his speech therapist would send things over about certain words and sounds to work on and activities that kind of would help him with that. And we were just told to pick away at it as much as it fit our schedule. There was no pressure, and I'm thankful that Jace is just in preschool, because if he was in like grade school and you were now responsible to actually teach your kids like math and science and all those subjects that I really hate, I don't know how I would do. There is a high probability that we might end up being forced to homeschool, and that scares me. I'm not a teacher. I don't know if I have the patience. I don't know if Jace has the capacity to learn from home. I think if he's here, surrounded by all his toys, he's not gonna listen to me. And he's not like a huge craft kid, so his attention span for a craft is like maybe a solid 10 minutes, and that's about it. So at this moment, our plan is to send him back to preschool, but he's not registered yet, so I really don't know. This one is gonna be super, super quick, and I'm sure there's people that disagree with me, but it is whether or not to vaccinate your kids. Again, I'm trying to be respectful of other people's opinions, and I know there's a lot of information out there, and I am probably not completely educated on the whole realm of it, but I am for vaccinating your kids. I really, really think that we have these vaccines for a reason. This COVID vaccine, once it comes out and obviously it's safe, like, we want to vaccinate. We want to keep people safe. We want to avoid pandemics like this. If there's a vaccine for it, I really, really feel for our protection, but also for protecting other people that are immunocompromised. I would strongly encourage you guys to vaccinate your kids. How's that for controversial? The next one is about spanking and disciplining your child. I have never personally spanked Jace. Have I thought about it? Yeah. I've definitely gotten like annoyed and you want to just like knock some sense into them. I think it's just like if you get in a fight with your partner, you know, you just want to like hit them, but you don't, because you shouldn't, right? So I personally am not for spanking your child. I think there's a lot of other ways to discipline your kid, and I've done a lot of trying to figure out what works best for Jace, and you know, putting him in timeout and like locking him in his room, it don't work. I bet it works for some kids, but for Jace, it just makes it worse. It heightens the situation. When it comes to discipline or getting him to listen, he really responds well to talking about it. Talking about why I'm mad. Talking about why he's mad or upset or whatever. Talking about the situation and why it's not okay what he did. But I can't ever picture myself spanking my kid. The next one, and I think I talked a little bit about it in my part 1, but it is electronics with kids, phones with kids. I'm okay with electronics. I think Jace is maybe a little bit more dependent on his quiet time that he needs throughout the day on electronics. Like, I wish that he would more so when he needs to like wind down. I wish he would just like lay in bed and like play, which he does sometimes, or read more. But I mean, Jace loves to read, so it's not a big concern that he likes to watch YouTube and likes to be on the iPad and likes to play games. And I just think you have to set boundaries. But I really do listen to him, and I try not to personally throw the iPad in his face. I think you have to monitor it and make sure that, you know, when we were at the cabin, Jace would wake up in the morning, he'd be super, super cranky, and I'd be like, hey, let's go to the beach. And he just did not want to go. He just wanted to lay on the couch and watch a couple shows, and I'm okay with that. If he wants to watch, like, I like to wake up and be on my phone or watch a show, etc. And so if that's what he wants to do and that puts him in a better mood so that we can go and play and have a good day, I'm okay with it. When will I give him a cell phone? I got a cell phone in grade 7, which is, I think, is when you kind of get a little bit more independence from your parents, and it's good for us to be able to get a hold of the kids. But technology really is becoming so much more a part of our lives than it was even when I was in grade 7. And I know kids are getting cell phones earlier. So I think junior high is the right time where your kids are learning a little bit more responsibility. So I think that's kind of when I would aim to give Jace a phone. I found this one kind of interesting, and it is if it's okay to kiss your child on the lips. Okay, I'm sorry for the interruption on this video, but I just needed to hop on here because I filmed this a few days ago, and then I posted my vlog for Day at the Cabin, if you haven't seen that yet, and I made the thumbnail a photo of me and my 3-year-old sitting on the dock, and he gave me a kiss on the lips, which you'll hear what I have to say on this matter. But I got a comment. I don't think the person had any malicious intent, but it bothered me that someone would judge you for kissing your toddler on the lips. Like, I'm a little bit chill when I go in and talk about this topic because I didn't actually think that anybody would ever be concerned about that. And now it just weirdly that now I've experienced like a little bit of hate, and I will let my kid kiss me on the lips for a while, and it's something that you just grow out of when it's time, and nothing weird or sexual about your son, toddler, 3-year-old kissing you on the lips. Not at all. So I just kind of had to throw that in there because I was a little bit thrown off by this comment. Yes, absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I think as they grow up, they kind of grow out of that and they don't want to show as much affection to you. I think like teenage years, it gets a little weird and confusing, but little kids, yeah, I kiss Jace on the lips all the time. I want him to know what affection feels like and to know how to give affection, and I want him to grow up like that, so no issues there. This one is hard, and I don't think I have it totally figured out yet, but it's how to deal with picky eaters. Do you force them to eat it? Do you bribe them to eat it? I am a briber here. I go, if you eat this many bites, you get a cookie, or you get to play a game. I play games with him to get him to eat. If it's meat I'm trying to feed him, we pretend to be T-Rexes and I feed the T-Rex. And if I need him to eat broccoli, I say, oh, is there a long neck here? The long neck needs to come eat the trees. So I think to an extent, you need to force your child into trying these things, because Jace is notorious for this. I'll be like, it'll be something that he's had before that he likes. And I'll be like, here, do you want to eat this? And he's like, no, I don't like that. And I'm like, yeah, you do. And he's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, okay, well, you have to just try it. Sometimes I tell him, like, just lick it, or just one bite, or just a tiny bite. And I tell him, if you don't like it, you can spit it out. And usually he will be like, okay, and he'll try it. And then I'll be like, did you like it? And he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, do you want another bite? And he's like, no. And I'm like, he's definitely a picky eater, and it's so hard. But if I make a meal for us and he doesn't like it, I will not go and make a whole other meal for him that I know he'll eat. I think he does need to learn to eat what's in front of him, and I try to offer him things that I know he'll eat, plus maybe something new. And, you know, sometimes he goes to bed and he goes, Mom, I'm hungry, I want a snack. And I'm like, well, then you should have had your dinner. And I'm like, you can have these healthy snacks, like a banana or something. And I'm like, but, you know, if you're hungry, then next time you need to eat your dinner. That is a work in progress. What about gender stereotypes? I try not to push gender stereotypes on Jace. I think he is who he is and he likes what he likes. He has a dollhouse, but he doesn't like to play with dolls. He likes to put animals and dinosaurs in it. So I gave him the dollhouse, and like he has like people and stuff, and he's just never had interest in playing with people. So that's okay, but I've never pushed him away from that kind of stuff. I dress Jace a little bit more progressive, I would say. And, you know, he has leopard print pants, and he's a boy. I think it's super cool, super hip, super trendy, and I don't think a lot of people would dress their boy like that, but I love it. He's so pretty that people think he's a girl sometimes, and that's okay. If Jace ever wanted to grow his hair long, fine. Jace has recently kind of been wanting to paint his nails. He's like, Mom, I love your nails. More so when I paint them with a color. He's like, I love your nails. I wish my nails were painted. And I'm like, I can paint your nails. I am totally for that. If he wants painted nails, he's got it. I wanted to include this one because I do actually have a strong opinion on this, and it is home births. I'm sorry if you are somebody that has had successful home births. I know people that have had successful home births and they've said it's magical and everything has gone smoothly. However, I had a very traumatic birth with Jace, and the reality is that if we were not at the hospital, both Jace and I would probably not be alive. And that's the truth. And so I would never, ever agree to do a home birth. I think midwives and doulas are great for some people. I feel so much more comfortable with a doctor. And I definitely felt this way before Jace's birth, but especially after Jace's birth, like, I will not budge. Like, I need a doctor and I want to be at the hospital. And those are very important to me. So I think that is it for all the topics today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I got a little bit more real, a little bit more controversial. Again, you guys do you. As long as you're just trying your best to be the best parent for your child, I support you. I'm away a lot this summer at the cabin, which means videos are a little bit harder to get filmed and edited because I can't do it at my cabin. Computer issues, don't ask. But so make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. It's @MaxSide, just like my YouTube channel name. There's also going to be a link down in the description. I would love to have you guys along. I've had so many new subscribers join, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting me and my channel, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!